1800 hours, Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan, the news read by Ali Ahmed. First, the headlines. Special Assistant on Health has urged people to strictly adhere to COVID-19 SOPs as alarming increase in positive cases is putting pressure on healthcare system. Minister for Industries has said establishment of 3 more smartphone manufacturing plants in the country will help reduce prices and check on smuggling of mobile phones. Pakistan Railways has decided to expedite work on the Islamabad-Istanbul train project. Japan has extended a grant of 6 billion rupees to Pakistan to improve water treatment and distribution system in Faisalabad. In Brussels, the chairperson of the European Union Parliament's Committee on Human Rights has urged the European Union to raise the issue of human rights violations in India before establishing the economic ties with it. United Nations Secretary General condemning the military junta's continuing brutal use of force against protesters in Myanmar has urged for a firm and unified international response. And now, the news in detail. Special Assistant on National Health Services Dr. Faisal Sultan says the COVID positivity ratio has doubled from 4.5% to 9.5% in the last few days. Briefing the media persons in Islamabad today, he said this alarming situation is an increasing burden on our healthcare system. He said the pressure is especially seen on the health infrastructure in major cities of Punjab, Islamabad and Peshawar. The Special Assistant said it is our collective responsibility to fully comply with the SOPs to cope with the challenge. He advised the people to wear masks and ensure social distancing, urging masses that the wedding events should be organized in open air with the minimum possible guests. Regarding the vaccination, the Special Assistant said the process is continuing and people aged over 70 years can get vaccination shots without any appointment. Dr. Faisal Sultan said 2 consignments of vaccine purchased by Pakistan will also arrive in the country by the end of this month. Prime Minister Imran Khan has tested positive for COVID-19, confirming this in a tweet. A Special Assistant on National Health Services, Faisal Sultan, said the Prime Minister has self-isolated himself at home. Minister for Information and Broadcasting Senator Shibli Faraz, Interior Minister Sheikh Rashid, Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi, Speaker National Assembly Asad Qaisar and other PTI leaders have prayed for the early recovery and good health of Prime Minister Imran Khan. Federal Minister for Industries and Production Mohammad Hamad Azhar has said 3 more smartphone manufacturing plants will be set up in the country in near future. Talking to the newsman in Lahore today, he said a smartphone manufacturing plant established in Lahore will produce 6 million handsets annually. The minister said an increase in smartphones production will result in a decrease in the prices of smartphone handsets. He said the government has taken solid steps to curb the smuggling of smartphones. The minister said as the coronavirus is spreading at a fast pace, people should follow safety precautions and get inoculated against the virus. Pakistan Railways has decided to expedite work on the Islamabad-Istanbul train project. This was decided in a meeting chaired by Chairman Pakistan Railways Habibur Rahman Gilani in Lahore today to review various issues for operationalization of the train. The participants of the meeting discussed security, track situation, rolling stock and availability of locomotives for the train. The chairman directed the PR team for Islamabad-Istanbul train to immediately contact the Economic Operation Organization Secretariat by removing all hurdles and problems in the launch of the train service. He directed the railways, police and other security agencies to ensure protection of the project when it becomes operational. Japan has extended a grant of 6 billion rupees to Pakistan for improvement of water treatment and distribution system in Faisalabad. Secretary Economic Affairs Division Noor Ahmed and Ambassador of Japan Kuninori Matsuda signed the exchange notes in Islamabad today. Speaking on the occasion, the Secretary of Economic Affairs said Pakistan values the congenial relations with Japan and both the countries share mutual stance on most of the regional and international affairs. In his remarks, the Japanese ambassador said this is the single largest grant in aid from Japan to Pakistan this year. World Oral Health Day is being observed today. This day is observed annually to highlight the importance of oral hygiene and urge governments, health associations, and the general public to work together to achieve this objective. In his message on the occasion, President Dr. Arif Alvi said that people can stay safe from many diseases through oral hygiene. He asked the children, men and women to make teeth brushing their habit. The President pointed out that about 20 hadiths of Holy Prophet Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam Khatamun Nabiyyin provide guidance relating to the dental care. This is Radio Pakistan. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the All-Party Hurriyat Conference has said that India is using cheap tactics to force the Hurriyat leaders and activists to surrender their just cause of freedom from the Indian yoke. According to the Kashmir Media Service, the All-Party Hurriyat Conference spokesman said that the Modi government was using its judiciary and investigating agencies to harass the Hurriyat leaders and their families. He maintained that such repressive measures cannot subdue the freedom sentiment of the Kashmiri people. In Brussels, the chairperson of the European Union Parliament's Committee on Human Rights, Mary Arena, has advised the European Union to talk about the human rights in India before establishing their broader economic ties with it. She said the ruling BJP has sown the seeds of hatred in the Indian society and arrested opponents on a large scale. The 5-day Mammoth Farmers Rally Parayatra that began yesterday from Indian city of Mathura is moving towards its destination steadily. Its objective is to educate farmers as well as the common people about the gravity of controversial farm laws. The rally will reach Haryana on Tuesday, where farmers have been protesting against farm laws to mark the martyrdom day of Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev and Rajguru. Palestinian Authority has opened the registration offices in the West Bank and Gaza to admit the political parties and independent candidates that will take part in the parliamentary elections scheduled to be held in May this year. This is the first parliamentary elections to be held in the West Bank and Gaza in 15 years. In Myanmar, international pressure on the military junta to halt its repression of pro-democracy supporters has increased amid the continued protests across the country. 2 people were killed when soldiers opened fire overnight in the town of Mogok, taking the death toll to a tally of 237 since military coup on 1st of last month. Dozens of demonstrators gathered in the second city of Mandalay today, and several were injured when police fired rubber bullets. There were small protests in other towns. In a statement, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres condemned military continuing brutal violence and urged a firm and unified international response. The U.S. House of Representatives approved legislation condemning the coup, and lawmakers decried and increasingly harsh tactics against the demonstrators. Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has said that Iranian New Year is the year of production, support and removal of barriers. In a live televised speech broadcast today, he said there is a good ground for production leap. He said this move must be pursued seriously and mainly through legal governmental support for a surge in production. In Japan, an earthquake of magnitude 7.2 struck near the northeastern coast of Honshu today. Japan's meteorological agency issued a tsunami advisory after the earthquake. In Sri Lanka, 14 people were killed after a passenger bus went off the road and crashed in Pasara town about 240 kilometers east of Colombo today. According to police officials, 30 people were also injured in the accident. And finally, the weather report. Partly cloudy weather is expected in western and upper districts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain, wind, thunderstorms over high mountains is expected in north and central Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Kashmir, Gilgit-Baltistan, Punjab, Islamabad, and Upper Sindh. Isolated heavy fall and few hailstorms are also expected during evening and night time. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.